Okay, sorry about that. I got the telepathic message. So let me start again. I hope that you can hear me okay. Um, I'm Nancy Rebecca. Welcome to my channel. I've been talking about the blue light since 2017. In this talk, I'm talking about bursts of light and how those bursts of light are really leaping us, helping us, uplifting us into new states of consciousness. So, for all of you joining me from Virginia Beach, and hello from Nelson, BC, and hi from Texas. Lots going on in Texas right now. Indiana, Malaysia. Hello from Turkey. Yes, I am feeling wonderful. I'm feeling very excited. And this time frame that we're in is moving so rapidly because just in a couple of weeks on March 20th, we're having our big spring equinox event. But this equinox is really helping to bring us more into balance to prepare us for the even bigger event, which is the peak on March 29th of this flood of light coming in. So, yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello from Denver and Gig Harbor and from the UK. Oh, I'm so glad. Welcome, Martha, your first time able to make the live event. So, just to let you know how these talks go, I like to talk about the events that are at play right now, the light that's really playing out in our lives. I'm going to be talking about the DNA. So, have you ever felt an invisible force shifting your awareness almost as if the cosmic energy is actually whispering new insights into your consciousness? Have you ever thought about it before? And what if I told you that every second, billions of neutrinos, which are tiny cosmic messengers, are flowing through your body, carrying intelligence from the stars? I'm really excited about this talk today. And as we approach the spring equinox that's coming up in just a couple of weeks, but even if you're watching this replay 5 years from now, you're still going to be able to really get a lot of energy from what we're coming together to focus on. We are stepping into a rare cosmic alignment that will amplify this phenomena, ushering in a new level of awakening. So let me first talk about the spring equinox, because for the last 24 years, this is my 24th year hosting, doing a psychic reading on the equinox event. So I always do the 2 equinoxes and the 2 solstices. And the reason why this one in particular is very important is that equinox means equal. So I do realize that for us in the northern hemisphere, it is the spring equinox. And for those in the southern hemisphere, it is the fall equinox. But it's really all about balance. So we're bringing in kind of balance to the world. We're trying to bring balance to the world and all the noise that's going on. We're trying to bring it into some level, some form that we can actually work with to uplift us into balance and harmony. But within us, wherever we are out of balance, the spring equinox helps bring us into balance. And as I'm doing a psychic reading, I'm always amazed because I would say, over the years, let's say 10,000 people have attended one of my psychic reading events. We have over 7 billion people in the world, and it always amazes me because this particular event is always heralded as having a big wow factor because you're participating and you're being amplified by everybody that's a part of that group or listening to the replay later. And this is what's really happening for us. We're all being really amplified in the light that you carry inside of yourself. So I am going to do a meditation at the end. I'm going to drop a little sampler about what that spring equinox event's about. So why am I mentioning it? Because this is today of this recording, this live recording is the early bird special that you can still catch. But why is this one in particular really special? Because it's balancing us, harmonizing us, because then the following Saturday is where I am hosting another event that's really going to help kind of balance and clear our DNA and help us really prepare for this higher integration of light. And I have my little dog that's sorry. My little dog just burst through the door and is coming up underneath the desk. So hopefully he will behave himself. But he is loving. Well, now he's wanting to go back out again. Oh my goodness. So I'll just take a little commercial break here for a minute. So I have this little white dog, and he's about 16 years old. And he's blind and he's deaf, but you would never know it if you met him. You would never know it unless he's standing facing the wall and he doesn't know why the wall won't move. But anyway, he's adorable. So he's gone back out now. All right. So let me jump in and talk about this. So again, I will provide a little sampler experience at the end. This is the early bird special. So, and I also want to mention that I had a wonderful chat with Pam Gregory yesterday. We had great fun. So that she's uploaded and published that particular interview that we did yesterday too. So that's available to you after you finish this talk. So this spring equinox, it as a portal that's occurring on March 20th, my event will be on March 22nd on a Saturday, is creating this perfect balance of light and dark, offering powerful energetic gateways of transformation. And this year, the equinox is surrounded by extra special celestial events that can act as amplifiers to your cosmic consciousness. So if you've been around, you've been listening to the last talks I've just written over the few weeks, about 3 blog posts about the blue light. And for many of you who've been following me a long time, since 2017, that's when the first visitation came through from the blue beings of light. It's a whole story in itself, which I'm trying to capture in the form of a book. But things are moving so rapidly with this blue light. I keep thinking that book's going to be so obsolete, so old hat, by the time I ever get it published. But it's just like, it just keeps, this blue light keeps ramping up and ramping up. So we had in 2019, 2021, 2023, these big bursts of blue, like these laser lights that went through the pyramids. But now this year, here in 2025, we're experiencing this tsunami wave of light that's heading towards our galaxy. I keep hearing the blue beings of light speaking to the fact, they say, we're raising consciousness. This blue wave of light is awakening consciousness one galaxy at a time. So our entire universe is being impacted. But because I am a registered nurse and my interest is about the human body, it's about your human body, your human energy field, that's where I like to always bring that focus back to. So how are you going to be impacted by the spring equinox? You're going to be impacted by coming more fully into balance. That's going to then help prepare you to bring in these larger downloads of light that will be happening on March 29th. So there's a total lunar eclipse on March 14th. So kind of the week before the spring equinox, a blood moon bathing the earth in waves of transformative energy. Then there's going to be a partial solar eclipse on March 29th, and that will align with the equinox energies that will catalyze a burst of higher awareness. And then simultaneously, Venus and Mercury are in retrograde, prompting self reflection and heightened intuition. And in my wonderful conversation with Pam Gregory, I will be talking about that a lot more. And then the recent advancements in neutrino astronomy. Now, I'm super excited about this. Neutrino astronomy, hinting at an unseen cosmic force influencing both the physical and the energetic realms. So, if anyone wants to kind of type out in the comment section about neutrinos, or maybe if you find a great link that can explain it more from a scientific perspective, I'm going to add more of that kind of spiritual consciousness perspective. It's spelled NEUTRINO. And how did I find out about neutrinos? Well, a couple of you have asked, like, where am I getting my information about this quantum physics? And I have to tell you, most of the information I'm getting is from the star beings, and from my guides, my higher self. And I'll write down these notes. Now, they will sound fantastical every time. I've been at this for 30 years, and I never stop being amazed at how out there things can sound. But and so then I'll kind of go through and look. Like, I did a little search on cosmic light, and boom, this big kind of NASA website came up talking about this cosmic light where the stars burst, and it can take 1,000 years for us to get the knowledge from that star, the remnants from that star. And that's exactly the type of thing that's heading towards our planet. And then there was another article, because it was like, I typed in, how does the blue light impact DNA? Because I was already getting the information, but I wanted to know, am I the only one, or are there other people talking about this? And sure enough, there was another site, Scientific Life, I think was the website. And they've been doing studies with these little droplets of blue light on DNA. And they're finding with this blue light, they can activate some of your DNA that you want to have activated. You want those little doors to open, those doors of light, consciousness, knowledge, and wisdom. But it can also, they're being able to work with it to close doors of like what might activate cancer in the body. So our science is not only rapidly catching up, but can be really leading the way. And that we can be really excited about. So hello from North Okanagan and Minnesota. Hi from Australia and Sweden. So we definitely have an enormous international following here, community. So this convergence of cosmic events suggests that we're being immersed in heightened fields of consciousness, shifting our human energy field in ways we are only beginning to understand and to be excited about. So how did I find out about neutrinos? All right, minding my own business. I did not hear about this from the blue beings of light, but I saw this big headline, and it said, scientists catch on camera. They photographed a neutrino. So it was like this big, massive headliner. And I thought, caught an image of a neutrino. So of course it got my attention, as spirit can do, right? Spirit communicates to you in more ways than just your intuitive sense. It'll put articles in front of you like that, scientific studies, conversations, stories, books. And so that's what happened. And then I went to look at it, and they're describing these neutrinos and how they actually finally on camera, this high speed camera, they finally caught a picture of one of these. And so it just was very exciting in the scientific world. So neutrinos, an unseen carrier of cosmic intelligence. So neutrinos are ghost-like subatomic particles that move through everything. These subatomic particles move through planets, stars, and even your body without any resistance at all. Scientists have detected ultra high levels of energy neutrinos that have originated from distant galaxies, suggesting that these particles are carriers of cosmic information. But could they also be carriers of light codes? And that is what I'm curious about, because the energetic imprints that activate higher states of consciousness. Did you know that this is the part that blew my mind about these little particles of potent light. They're just like little nuclear burst of energy. So that's why I named this talk these bursts of light, because it's like LED light on steroids. Just it could be very blinding if we could see it from that energetic perspective. Every second, over 65 billion neutrinos pass through each square centimeter of your body. Every second, let me say that again. Every second, over 65 billion neutrinos pass through each square centimeter of your body. 65 billion. So this is light, and it's passing through. And so what if, instead of simply passing through, they are actually interacting and engaging with your human energy field, and they are encoding your consciousness with new frequencies? It's pretty mind-blowing. So then I started doing a deep dive, and I love it. Many of you have been writing me about the things you're doing a deep dive on, and I'm loving it. So I did another deep dive to find out that neutrinos, how they have been able to capture this information is way above my pay grade. But these neutrinos come from these outer galaxies, and they're just coming right down, and they come right down through the sun and through the Earth's core the sun's core. Hot, 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 doesn't phase these little neutrinos, a burst of light, passes through the sun, comes to the Earth, passes through our body, and they're collectors of knowledge. And so let's just say they're collecting light from the black holes, they're collecting knowledge from the Milky Way, they're collecting knowledge from the planet Sirius or the star of the Pleiadians. They're passing through the sun and picking up all this incredible knowledge and wisdom from the sun, and then it's passing through our body, and guess what? It's collecting your knowledge and wisdom and passing through the earth and bringing your own cosmic wisdom through to the earth, as well as it's bringing the cosmic wisdom and intelligence from other people standing around you, all the knowledge that's coming from the animals and the trees. It just blows my mind how exciting this is. And so I started asking questions, and the questions were, so clearly these little neutrinos, bursts of light, have been around a long time. I don't know that the light just switched on. I think it's always been there. And as scientists, we're starting to really be able to measure it. Did you hear I said we? Because, and the reason why I say we is because on March 29th, when this big surge, this galactic wave peaks, it's bringing through it's activating your ability to understand quantum physics or mathematics. It's waking up your ability to be able to scientifically understand new concepts of medicine and science and saving our ecosystem, like all this high level activation of the knowledge that you hold within you. Are you as excited as I am? I'm super, super excited. So, the concept, and so I did ask about light codes because then I thought, are these light codes? Are they the light codes that I've been talking about that's full of knowledge? And they said, well, yes and no. So these little bursts of, I call them these LED lights of just pure radiant light, are very activating, and they definitely activate your DNA, and they share knowledge, the knowledge of the cosmos, of the planets, the stars, of the earth, of the plants, shares it with you, and then you share your knowledge with the universe. It's such a symbiotic relationship that is happening for us now. It's building up now. It's very exciting. But then when I said, all right, so is it a light code? And it's like, well, yes, it is light and it's a code, but it can be very specific, a light code. So for many of you who took advantage of that course that I taught about light codes, it's like you specifically can ask a question, or what type of information or knowledge is specific to you that your spirit wants to share with you in the form of light codes. And the light codes rapidly accelerated so fast in that workshop that we had to really slow down the pace of the teaching because people were so rapidly accelerating in higher states of consciousness, almost too fast for the human body to conceive of. And this is what's happening in the spring equinox, where we're helping the body, the human energy field, come into balance so that as this higher knowledge and light comes in, that it's not too much for our body at once. Okay, are you all with me? Hope I haven't left anybody in the dust. So the concept of light code suggests that energy from the cosmos can activate dormant aspects of our DNA, awakening you to higher states of awareness. And some scientists speculate that neutrinos interact with the weak nuclear force, one of the fundamental forces of nature. And if this is true, could neutrinos be subtly influencing our biological and energetic processes within us? So there are points in time when the scientists go back through history and they find, like where Neanderthals ended and humans began, or the I think it's Davidians are another kind of human species, or maybe like my little, Sasquatch here, or maybe that's another type of human species. But we talk about, certain animals that stopped existing in the earth and new animals, came on the scene. And so are we going through this big evolutionary shift? It's definitely something to ponder, isn't it? So, signs that you might be noticing these bursts of light, these neutrino waves that are flowing through you, is that you could have a sudden intuitive insight or a deep knowing that seems to come out from nowhere. So, have any of you had experiences recently with sudden bursts of intuition? Or maybe you never felt like you had an intuitive bone in your body, and suddenly you had a very big insight about something that's going on around you, and you wonder, how did I know that? Well, it is highly possible that these bursts of light, these neutrinos that just carry with it lots and lots of activating light is helping to enhance this knowledge to come to the surface for you. It's also feeling heightened sensitivity during cosmic events like eclipses and solar flares. So we are, as you are awakening more, it's becoming more sensitive. Now, I know I've been hearing from a lot of you about this one. How many of you have been having dreams or visions that feel encoded with information? How many of you are having dreams where you feel it's full of encoded information? So remember, in the dream world, that's the astral world. It is a much higher vibration and frequency. And sometimes we can pick up knowledge, wisdom from those levels. And then we want to bring it down to earth when we wake up and anchor that truth into our consciousness here in the 3D realm. Let me just, okay. Elaine was talking about having a dream, looking up at the sky and saw millions of light codes raining down from the cosmos. Wow. Embrace taking naps. That is the truth. That is the truth. So, and then Petunia is saying, I thought something was wrong with me because it feels like depression and I was trying to push myself to be excited. And so, yeah, there's, we are purging when we are clearing a lot. So if neutrinos truly carry intergalactic intelligence, then we may be subconsciously decoding their messages, receiving the bursts of light of higher awareness in moments of alignment. So we're talking about the eclipse, and now on March 29th, the solar eclipse and the neutrinos burst of consciousness. So following the equinox, the partial solar eclipse on March 29th serves as a catalyst. Now, when I was talking with Pam Gregory a couple of weeks ago and then yesterday in the interview, we're both in agreement that this particular time is really it is the most significant event of your lifetime. This is not going to come around again in this lifetime. And we got off the call and we were reviewing. I was asking her more questions about a conversation we had on the interview. And she said, this is the first time this particular alignment's happened in 6,000 years. So these are old. And then we have these other events. This particular March 29th event is, I feel it is the event that we're talking about, hasn't happened in 12,000 years of this Yuga cycle. And many are talking about the end of the Kali Yuga, which when I looked it up, it's like the Kali Yuga cycle is about ending 12,000 years of violence in this one article that I read. And I'm like, wow. So if that's even partially true, and we're experiencing the levels of violence that we're experiencing, or just handling conflict through wars and things like that, just thinking that that's the only way that we know to handle conflict, even in your own family, by fighting. And now we're going to have this big shift. Is it possible? I'd like to believe that not only is it possible, it's probable. I would like to believe it's not just probable, but it is going to happen. Are we heralding in a time of peace and a time of love? It's, it's talking about in the 60s, where it's, love and peace, the end of the Vietnam War. But this particular wave that's coming through, as I said, I feel like it has a very high science type quality to it, where science is going to be catapulted to another level. And so, yes, read in the comments. There's a lot of people that are talking about their knowledge and what they know about this cycle that is releasing. Now, are we one and done on March 29th? You finish you go to the Spring Equinox event, you go to the March 29th event. It's like, okay, I'm good. I was like, nope, we're not done yet. It's like, we've made this big shift, but then it'll just come in waves over the next several years. I hope that you feel better. I hope everybody feels better as well. So solar eclipses are known to recalibrate the human energy field with heightened presence of neutrinos. This could be a profound moment of activation. And this is a time to open ourselves up to profound levels of heightened intuition, cosmic downloads, and step into our next evolutionary phase. So I want to take a moment to talk about what is a download. So often people will talk about a download, and it's like, well, for me, I used to think it's like, oh, it's intuitive information, coming in. I always thought of it as like being, handed a basket full of laundry that's just out of the dryer. And then as I'm folding it and pairing up the socks and folding the pants and t-shirts, that I'm able to integrate or absorb what that download just meant. So that's the way my spirit communicates to me. But I've started paying attention to what a download really means, because you can get intuitive information. But a download for me is I'm beginning to notice that there'll be like a shift in the room, or something's happening. I just said this yesterday. Something's happening. Something just shifted. So I'll have that awareness, very subtle. And then I'll go ahead and probably just ground myself to be on the, consciousness side. And then it will be almost like a crack or a snap of energy. And then it's like my ears will ring. Like there's several layers of things that will happen. And then it's just like, boom. It's like I start thinking about something that I wasn't thinking about 5 minutes ago. My mind starts kind of, expanding into kind of the what ifs is what, I'd like to talk about. So if any of you have experienced downloads, what does that feel like to you? What is that experience? Because for those of you, you may be having downloads and you didn't even know that it was called a download. So if anybody knows, do you have a precursor before you have the download that happens? Because what's happening on March 29th, it's like we're building up. It's like our DNA is getting ready. These bursts of light of these neutrinos are coming in. The light codes are coming in. The blue plasma waves that are rolling across the galaxies are coming in. And then it's preparing us so that when we kind of get activated and downloaded for this higher level of knowledge, we can handle it, right? So Mark saying March 29th sounds like the flash followed by several days of darkness that Ann Tucker talks about. So thank you for bringing that up, Mark. I did write my most recent blog. If you're on my mailing list, I send that blog post out. But I don't get information about 3 days of darkness. And I've searched for it, and it doesn't mean it's not true, but each and every one of you will get a different part of the knowledge that's coming in. So the knowledge that I'm getting, Mark, is about the 3 to 5 days of a crystallizing light. And I talk about this in my talk with Pam. Crystallizing light that helps anchor this high level of knowledge into the earth. So we could possibly think about it as the earth's going through getting prepared for a download. But this is what I love, is that that there's so many people talking about this, so many people. And so we are in very good company. I wanted to mention something else, and I haven't mentioned this anywhere else. I haven't even written about it, but most recently, so I'll probably talk about this more next week on our next live So you may find it beneficial to meditate with the blue light, and I will make sure that I put a link here, but you can also visit my website at intuitivemind.org. I do have free, right now there's a free teaching on the blue light and a blue light. You can click the button, it's free. Because what I'm being told now in this new heightened level of information is our human bodies, our human energy fields, and our human bodies are much more dynamic than we ever realized. That they are these kind of high operating systems of light, and that we are built for this time. And when we bring in the blue light, and it helps strengthen all of our energy channels, it strengthens our chakra system, it strengthens our auric field, so that the maybe radiation that's coming from the cosmos kind of gets filtered out and only the knowledge comes in. But it's Spirit is telling me right now that our human bodies are an operating system. And with these new downloads and these new bursts of light and this new DNA activation, we're going to understand, oh wow, my operating system's pretty cool, and we're going to learn together how to operate this operating system. And so when I think about this, I think about some of the things I've been listening to about the non-human intelligence, where I was listening, I think it was on Gaia television, where they said that there had been this downed spacecraft disk, and they, put it on a truck and they take it to a military base. And when they go on the inside, there's no panels. There's no buttons to push. And so they're curious about, well, how do these non-human intelligence, how do they make this system fly? How do they fly from another galaxy? Well, they're realizing that it's just pure consciousness, that they just think fly and it flies, lift off the ground, it lift off the ground. So then I'm like, okay, I think that's what's being explained to us, is that we have this incredible intelligence that is awakening with us, and we will be capable of doing a lot more. And when will that happen? I'm not sure, but I'll be talking more about that. So thank you for those who've been posting about neutrinos and websites. I can't always read. If it's a long post, it cuts me off. I just want to let you know. Yes, Jill, a conscious living energy. Exactly. We are a conscious living energy. Oh, interesting about crop circles. So yes, just keep reading the comments. And I apologize for those of you who are watching the replay. So Aussie said it's the same with crop circles. They think them into being. It's like they just have a thought and then the crop circle appears. So we definitely know there's the telepathy tape podcast that's really talking about how in autism that they're able to really hear other people's thoughts. And you are able to do that as well. Just nobody told you that. We could be levitating. We could be bilocating. I mean, there's a lot of things that come with it. Or let's just say I could be happy with being a decent human being, right? To be decent and kind. So let me just guide through a meditation. And it's going to be a little bit of a sampler, because when I do a psychic reading and guide you through a group reading, in this case, the equinox, we all work together. So that's what I want you to imagine. I'm going to do this meditation now, and we're going to be really tapping into these neutrinos, to light codes, to kind of get a sense of the downloads from the galaxies, from the stars, from the sun. And I want you to always be consciously aware of, even if you're watching this if you're if you're allowing me to guide you in this meditation and you're watching the replay even a year from now, I want you to imagine that you are a part of a greater global community that is focusing on the shift at the same time, which will amplify your shift. So, are you ready? All right, go ahead and close your eyes. And turn within. And as you bring all of your external attention to your internal world, just try to imagine what it would be like if your human energy field is a highly intelligent, highly conscious operating system. Instead of just thinking about your body as, I wish you were less grumpy, or I wish you were less anxious, or I wish I could lose a few pounds. Let's just put all that aside and try to pretend and imagine that your entire energy field is truly an incredible operating system of consciousness. And your highly intelligent, awakened form of consciousness that's connected to everything through these bursts of light, knowing that your operating system functions better with stability. We all function better with stability. Go ahead and stabilize yourself by grounding your human operating system to the center of the earth. And if you're new at the thought of grounding, I love to pretend with an ancient 1,000-year-old oak tree and grounding the roots all the way down to the center of the earth. And for those of you who've been playing in the field of possibilities with me, that you've been playing with different types of grounding. Like I think last week I was working with schools of rainbow fish. Maybe you're grounding as a mountain, or maybe you're grounding with fire or lightning. Maybe you're grounding with butterflies. Once you have this sense of what you'd like to stabilize your human operating system with, then go ahead and imagine it's down around the area of your navel, around the area of your hips, and then you're just going to allow gravity to pull it through the seat of the chair you're in, or your bed, or the floor. Let it gravity pull it through the foundation of the building that you're in, or maybe you're just now sitting in nature. It's going to pull it gently through all the layers of the Earth's crust. It's going to pull it deeper and deeper and deeper till you get to the core of the Earth. And then imagine something to kind of tie you in, anchor you in, support you as you are strongly connected to the Earth's core. Now, in this meditation, as we are imagining that we're coming into balance, just like if you were being guided at the equinox, set your intention to release any energy that is out of balance. And you're just going to let it drain right down your grounding. Any out of balance energy that could interfere, slow down, or block these lights of consciousness coming through you, you're going to release it, let it drain down your grounding. So now I'm going to take you through an image of vision, just like I would do as I was guiding you in the equinox event. So imagine that it is a beautiful night sky, and imagine all of you are kind of standing in the muck of your life. All right. What does the muck of your life look like? Well, it could look like mud, or it could look like you're standing in water. It could look like you're tangled up in thorn bushes. It could look like you're in bed with the covers over your head. So we're going to imagine just now that you are standing in the muck of your life, and all together we're going to make a big shift. And so now, as a group, you're going to imagine that you're moving out of the muck of your life to reach higher ground. So for some of you, higher ground could be a desert scene where you're on top of a mesa. It can be, white sands of a desert. It could be one of the mountains like Mount Shasta, Mount Everest, wherever your imagination takes you to move to higher ground out of the muck of your life. And as you're moving to higher ground, sense and feel into this vast cosmic sky that you are being illuminated by. And as you are in higher ground, feel the waves of energy gently washing over you. Find a place to either sit, lie down, you could dance, you can fly. It's your human operating system, it's your spirit. You can choose all kinds of ways to celebrate the light. Imagine billions of tiny streams of lights coming from the cosmos as neutrinos flowing through you, carrying cosmic intelligence from the furthest reaches of the universe. And I want to just give you a little hint. They are actually coming through you right now. But now imagine with heightened sensitivity that you can sense the light and sense the higher intelligence from the cosmos. There you go. Feel these streams of energy activating your DNA in a way that it illuminates, these neutrinos illuminates the hidden wisdom within you. Take in a few deep breaths, and with each breath, allow yourself to absorb this high level of cosmic intelligence. Allowing this cosmic intelligence to expand your conscious awareness. Some of you may notice some achiness in your body. You may notice a band of tightness around your diaphragm. And that the aches in the body are where the light is expanding you so much. Your spirit's excited, but your body's like, I'm not quite sure. And so if you just soothe your body, let your body know, hey, we've got this. We're just pretending and playing with these heightened levels of awareness. So you can just let your fear go down your grounding. Let all the fear in your body just drain down your grounding or nervousness, confusion, doubt. That you have what it takes. There you go. Release more. And remember, tens of thousands of people over the years watching the replay are joining in to this place of no time or space to release with you. What does this cosmic intelligence, how are you experiencing it for yourself? Do you experience it as a feeling? Do you experience it as a sound? Does it have a color? Is it pure white light? Or do you not experience anything at all, but you know a shift is happening? There you go. Remind yourself of what today's date is. Remind yourself of your current age, no matter when you're listening to the replay. Allow the expansive light to dissolve the muck of your life. That's in this imaginary scene. Leave it behind. if you'd like to stay a little longer in this meditation, then I just suggest that you just pause the recording. Otherwise, allow yourself to become aware of your body again. Be aware of coming back into the space where you are. And then when you're ready, open your eyes and look around the room. And I'm curious if you feel present enough to make a note in the comments section, or you can wait till after the call. So you can repeat this meditation as often as you want, and over these next few weeks and after. And imagine in the spring equinox, we're going to do that on 7 of the main layers of your human energy field in a group, enhancing your experience. So as we move through the energies of the spring equinox and the upcoming solar eclipse and the great cosmic event that's happening on March 29th, whether we call them neutrinos, light codes, cosmic messengers, these energies are inviting you to step into a more expanded state of consciousness. And so the question is now, are you ready to receive? Let me know in the comments section. And let's keep that conversation happening. So Mercy Raja talking about the diaphragm spasm the last 2 days. So let me just share a little story. I know we're closing up here, but Yvonne and I were traveling with the Canoncito people in New Mexico into their sacred area. And I was getting just a really uncomfortable, tight diaphragm. It was painful. It was interfering with my ability to really enjoy my experience with them. And I went to the spiritual leader, Leon Secatero, and I expressed that I was having discomfort. And he goes, "Oh, it's because your spirit is so excited about this journey that you're on, but your body's just not quite sure yet." And so there's a place right in your diaphragm. It's called the knot of Vishnu. So the knot of Vishnu, Knot, and then Vishnu, Vishnu, I think. And you can actually put it in the search engine and look it up. It's called the knot of Vishnu. So again, it's where your spirit's excited, but your body's like trying to hold on to a little control. So we're always stronger together than we ever have been apart. So thank you again so much for joining me today. And I know that you're going to enjoy my talk with Pam Gregory as well. So take care, everyone. Yeah, it's a beautiful meditation together. And I'll see you on the spring equinox. Bye-bye.